It was a very strange experience. I was basically just sat at school. I went to answer a question and my shoulder dislocated. That's all it was. There's many other sort of entrepreneurial minded or positive people that have got their vision that don't feel like they quite maybe, I feel when you're with everyone else, you don't feel like you fit in with what you kind of want to do. That's where I get the most joy, is seeing someone grow for many, many years. I hope to still be teaching until I'm like my teachers, till I'm 80, 90, till I can't.
Welcome to the Spotlight series, season 2 of the Showbiz Side Hustle Podcast, where each week we meet one of the brilliant co-authors and creatives behind Spotlight on Success, the PerformerPreneur book that's redefining what success looks like both in and out of the showbiz spotlight. I'm your host here, Nicole Louise Geddes, and in these special episodes we learn even more about the stories behind the sequins, raw, honest, powerful reminders that the end of one act is only the beginning of another. So listen in as we chat challenges and triumphs and inspire you to shine in any spotlight you like. Hello to you all. Today I'm joined by another wonderful co-author of Spotlight on Success, Kirsty Anderson. Get ready, listeners, as she shares more of the real and raw story behind her beautiful chapter, Happiness and Reflection. Kirsty is the founder of KLA Fitness, where she blends her passion, purpose, and deep personal evolution into a thriving business. A dance educator, level 4 Pilates instructor, and passionate advocate for movement with meaning. Her background in theatre spans teaching, choreography and performance, which has all led her to here. In her chapter, Kirsty shares how a life-altering injury forced her to slow down, shift direction, and ultimately dance along a different path. What began as a physical setback became the catalyst for transformation, helping her reconnect with her body, reclaim her joy, and build herself back to full health through healing, creativity, and community. This is a story about resilience, breath, and trusting life's redirections. Let's step into Kirsty's inspiring journey and discover the strength that comes from moving through life, one aligned step at a time. Please welcome into the spotlight the gorgeous and wonderfully positive Kirsty Anderson.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. Lovely introduction. Thank you.
My pleasure. Kirsty, we're going to jump straight in with the questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
We briefly touched in the intro on the fact that it was injury that forced you to pivot. Now, the listeners here are all, very aware that a traditional showbiz career in those spotlights can end at any given time. But injury is another setback entirely. Talk us through that moment and what it felt like to see your showbiz dreams disappear.
Yeah, so it was a very strange experience. I was basically just sat at school. I went to answer a question and my shoulder dislocated. That's all it was. But basically, I didn't know up until that point that I had hypermobility. I just thought I'd sprain my joints all the time and have bruises. And I didn't really realise that, obviously I was so flexible throughout dancing that's what it was. And basically I got to my teenage years where you get a lot of relaxin in your body with your hormones, and that's what can cause the joints to start being quite loose at the teenage years. And then from then on, my shoulder just kept dislocating. I went to basically rehab at the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital in London, and then they told me that once the brain recognises that you get dislocations, it can start on all the other joints as well, thinking that's normal. So then I started to have my hips and my knees, everything just started to go. So I had to have intense 2-week rehab in London. And from there, they decided that I wasn't going to be able to rehab. It would have to be a shoulder operation, but I had to wait till I was 23 till I stopped growing, even though I'm quite short. I think I stopped growing a long time ago, but I had to wait till I was 23, and I had some amazing physiotherapists up there. Honestly, that was a real pivotal time for me that I feel that changed everything. In my head, I was thinking, I'm going to go back to dancing, college age, I'll be able to go reach my dreams of being on a cruise ship or whatever. And I was told in that room, you probably won't be dancing again, unless I really put my head to it. And I thought, no, I'll be positive. I'm going to make something good out of this. Saw some very difficult things while I was up there. But also I thought, they sat me in a room and said, you're going to be fine. You're going to be okay. You're one of those people psychologically that are going to really cope with this, and you're going to go on to do amazing things. So even though I was told I might not dance, I was determined to put that hard work in. They said after my shoulder operation, you do the hard work, I do the hard work, then I'll be okay. So that's what I did. I listened to everything they said. And I just thought, right, I'm going to get back to something. I'm going to be able to do it one day, but it might not be now. Work really hard, and that's when I came across working in leisure centre, getting all my qualifications, and also just focusing on fitness, getting really fit in the gym, swimming, Pilates, walking, just trying to educate myself, which I wish I had at that teenage years or 18, or having that awareness of not just stretching but strengthening and looking after my body, because I was not looking after it. I was just probably wrecking it and not eating the right thing, and not looking after myself properly. But from those amazing clinicians, surgeons, I learned some really amazing techniques, and I thought, wow, I can really get into my anatomy and physiology and really teach some other people from there, how to look after, which is what I'm doing now, which is quite amazing to come full circle and teach that college age and educate them on, if you're not fit and you haven't got your body in shape, your longevity in your career might not be as long. So our number one body is our tool, which is what I write about. So I believe it's really important for dancers to have that kind of deep anatomy knowledge so they can take that with them wherever they go, their little toolkit. So it's very
That
positive.
is so inspiring and so important. I mean, we'll rewind many, many years when I was back at college. I'm a lot older
Yeah,
than you are. And we were just starting to learn about anatomy. In terms of dance, but prior to those college days, not a lot was said, and still there's so much more that can be shared. And the fact that you took that moment, took that horrendous kind of veto on your career and pivoted and reinvented and reframed that to bring your now knowledge to that next generation so they don't go through the same heartache, the same physical, blockages
yeah,
that you have had to deal with. So your chapter, Kirsty, does land in section 4 of the book, which is sharing success. And you're there because of this exactly what you're saying, this knowledge that you have that you want to share with the next generation. You see that as your legacy to take your unfortunate moments and reinvent them, redefine them, and take them back to others so that they don't have to go down that awful path of injury, which you can prevent. Maybe not so much your particular diagnosis, but with the reinvention and with the understanding, you've been able to maintain your physical health. And so to share that with the next generation is beautiful, it is necessary, it's wonderful. And to hear your positivity as well surrounding that really kind of life-changing moment is a breath of fresh air. You have been a breath of fresh air through this whole process, may I add. You're positive, you are smiling, you came to all of the sessions with a beautiful light about you, really encouraging, really excited to be in this collaboration. And that's, I'm very, very grateful for you for being that beautiful, positive, light, refreshing soul, always. What would you say about the experience in return? Because I have loved having you with us.
yeah, it's been amazing. I was telling people at the event that I was at recently to help launch the book, at a local health and wellbeing venue, and I was saying how much the book was. I feel like it was a real life-changing moment. I encourage anyone to write a book. I was telling everybody, I said, if you get a chance, do it, because it's so deep self-reflection. You just don't even know places you're going to go and find things out about yourself that or bring things to the surface that you didn't realize or hadn't thought about for years since maybe you were a child. And it is just really good to sort of bring that confidence out of you and really tap into things that you think, yeah, this is really what I want to do. This is my passion. This is my fire. And I do believe that book was what made me make the decision to leave my full-time job and go straight into it, because I've been balancing the two, full-time work around teaching, and now I'm had the confidence to go back to full-time teaching like I was doing before COVID. It was sort of like those COVID times that I put in the book that kind of changed my path again. So yeah, it's been really great to find that confidence again in myself and think and be around so many other inspiring people and think, yeah, I'm not the only one that thinks I want to do something like this. There's many other sort of entrepreneurial minded or positive people that have got their vision that don't feel like they quite maybe, I feel when you're with everyone else, you don't feel like you fit in with what you kind of want to do, but then you realize, oh, that's okay. I can be authentically myself and just go along my journey. And I think I haven't actually read all the chapters yet because I'm just so excited to get the book and read it from start to finish rather than keep dipping it out of people. But I have touched on a few chapters, but yeah, I want to sit there and just indulge in everybody's stories. But it has been really lovely to do it with other people. I wouldn't have done it by myself. I've enjoyed um, listening to other people, and Louisa and yourself sort of guidance has really helped. I wouldn't have a clue otherwise. But no, just it's really good timing for me because I start my dance degree in September and it's build my confidence in writing and sort of sentence structures and how to sort of write again. So yeah, it's been the perfect timing. All the stars aligned there, I think. In terms of my journey and when it was supposed to come, even though I said, I'm quite young, I don't have my whole story, my whole life yet, but it's given me a true direction and where I want to go. So I have yourself and everyone to thank for that. That's really great.
You are one of the youngest in the book collaboration. And the reason I reached out to you is because your story will inspire people of any age, but ultimately, there are younger people that are wanting to pivot earlier than others, and there are things like injury that get in people's way when they have their dreams and their sights set on a certain success. So it was really important for me to have diversity inside the book and to see that you are so young and you've got through so much so positively, and you are transitioning again and confident to evolve. It's been an absolute joy to me. You won't mind me saying, but in February, whilst we were writing this book, you did have a car accident, and
Yeah.
it shook us all in our lovely, close little collaboration community that you had been through that. And again, it felt like a real pivotal moment for you. So lots has been going on, Kirsty. And how have you managed to keep so positive amongst
No.
all of this? It's not the only thing either. It's been important for me to support you, and I think the rest of the group feel the same because there's been a few hurdles in this process.
Yeah, I think just staying positive I think all these things that have happened to me are just more confirmation and reassurance that life is short and you just have to keep going. Don't hold back, just go straight for what you want to do. And that's all I feel like this year has been about for me. Just constant reminders that, I was very lucky in that accident, as horrible as it was. But when I stepped out that car and looking at the car and looking the bruising on myself, and I'm thinking, oh, I got away with that. But I do also feel that strangely the Pilates and the strengthening in my body with the force held me up, and that's why I didn't get as injured, I don't think, because I that strength to sort of go with the car. So yeah, it was quite amazing. But again, I just thought it's not my time, and this is another sign that I need to just be strong, keep going, keep positive. I was lucky there, but yeah, life is short. You never know what's going to happen to you, do you? Just going along your everyday life and things happen out of your control around you. And yeah, we just got to make the most of every day. That's what all these injuries and all these things have taught me is, through, our friend passing away as well within the journey. I just think these people that can't do it, or, I'm doing it for all those people, and, that for those people that can't go along that journey. So, yeah, I think it's really important that it's just nice to have that reminder that, life is short, and inspire dancers of the future that, if you have hypermobility, which a lot of us do because we're so flexible, that you can definitely make a career of it. You just need the tools at an early age and a young age, and you need the right educators and people around you to give you confidence, support you, and yeah, give you the right advice and be positive and keep your head sort of strong and straightforward, not keep getting, distracted along the way. So yeah, hopefully I can inspire more people to keep going.
You absolutely will. I have no doubt about that. You raise a very interesting point and something that I say often in Performerpreneur. We all get attracted by the shiny objects, the other people. We're
Mm,
told we have to do things a certain way, and we can get distracted. We can get our ideas can get distorted. So you're
yeah,
absolutely right. To just keep on your own lane, to keep focusing on your own things that you want to achieve and what is authentically you.
yeah,
And I think your why behind that, Kirsty, is really important. It's obviously important to you, but it's important that we do this for all the people that can't.
yeah,
There'll be 100 people with 100 reasons, some with us, some that are no longer with us, that can't do the
mm,
things that we are able to go and do, which is evolved, pivot. We have that toolkit, we have the support with Performer. So please, listeners, do follow your own path, find the people that are going to support you. Keep looking in the right direction. Don't get distracted, and certainly don't get told what you can and can't do.
yeah. Keep believing in yourself. That's the thing. I always say to my students, you do not know what you're capable of until you try. And I think our mind is our limits, like whatever we set our head to, we can achieve it. I'm very big in fact, manifestation. I believe whatever I think about long enough and hard enough, I can do it and it will happen. But that's just lots of life experience now and lots of things that have happened. To make me really believe in myself and get confident. I think that's what I was always lacking when I had my shoulder and all my things happen was, oh, I can't do it, and watching everyone around you do other things. But I truly believe that's what's made me realize you're my values, which is what I talk about in the book, and what makes me happy. And again, that's why I called it happiness and reflection, because happiness looks different to everybody. My happiness to somebody else's, I love working in the community, I love helping people, I love watching people grow, but that's only through doing different things. I hadn't mentioned in the book as well my experience of going abroad and trying to be a dancer abroad. And yeah, I went to Crete and my shoulder was still not right, but I was in complete denial. I just thought I can carry on through all of this. And yeah, I thought and actually, weirdly, I was saying at the book event the other night that, I thought stepping off that stage then was going to be rewarding, and I didn't find it rewarding. And now what I do is way more rewarding, and I find it really nice to watch other people grow and help. That's what I feel like my little places on the earth now, is to help other people, and I love it. Yeah, it's really nice.
That's so, I was going to say interesting, but it's not quite the word
Yeah.
I was looking for. Insightful. It's very open and vulnerable of you to say. And I think it's things that people need to hear. You did continue to push and pursue something that, wasn't going to serve you, but you gave it a go. And I think the best bit of that whole piece that you just said was that self-awareness that it didn't bring you the joy that you thought it would. And yes, that's happened to you via industry through injury, sorry. But for myself, even, if you read my chapter in the book, the same thing happened. It didn't bring me the joy that I thought it was going to, or it certainly wore off for me. It was there at the beginning, and all the different chapters have their own different version of that dimming of the spotlight. And it's about us as a collective being vulnerable, being open, saying the real stuff so that others don't feel like they're the only ones that have maybe fallen out of love with performing, or have got to a point where it doesn't feel right anymore. And then they maybe, feel like they've failed if they stop doing it. And so the fact that you have been so self-aware at such a young age and gone, this doesn't bring me joy. I thought it would. I've pushed through. I'm gonna go try and do something else. And then finding the thing, the purpose piece in this passion conversation. You have the passion for performing, you have the passion for dance and theatre, and you've pushed that passion as hard and far as you can. And then when you connect it to that purpose, which is teaching the next generation, building a community, watching others thrive in the spotlight, you then find that magic sweet spot. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, literally. I was so lucky, like I put in the book, at 19 to be offered by my school, old school, to go and teach Rock Challenge. And I thought, oh, I've never done this before. This is strange. Like being behind, I thought, oh, I prefer this way more. So anyone young that's watching, I would just encourage you to say yes. That's what I did at that age. I was like, yes, I'll take the opportunity. Yes, anyone, anything I was asked to do, I just said yes, because that's how I learned I'm quite adaptable and positive, flexible. And I feel the best advice I've received is if you find an industry you love, it doesn't really matter sometimes what you do in that industry, you tend to love it because it's still that same industry. So I still loved the stage managing, the follow spot. I still loved all of it because it was still theatre. And quite quickly I realised, oh, thank goodness I'm not on that stage. I love watching it. I love choreographing it, but yeah, being in that spotlight for now for me is not where I want to be. But for some people, that's what they love. So that I think that's equally, as long as it brings you that joy and that happiness. And I say, as long as you can put your hand on your heart and say, that's what I love doing, and I'm happy. That's the main thing. As long as you're happy, that's what I say to the students. So
it's totally true. And being performers, creatives, industry professionals, I think we all have followed the joy for so long that it would feel really unnatural to suddenly turn off from that and flick the switch and be like, right, I'm not going to do anything that brings me joy anymore. I'm going to focus on money, or I'm going to focus on, other things, which are absolutely necessary, which is why Performerpreneur has been born, because we need to make money. We need to find ways of creating financial stability, be that alongside performing or when we've exited the industry. But ultimately, because we have been born within this creative community, this spotlight, showbiz, all of these things where we started so little, I think we'll always navigate towards joy. And it would be really a shame if people flicked the switch and stopped chasing joy. And so it's about marrying the two. And we can all see, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching on YouTube, you can see the joy that this conversation brings to both Kirsty and I, and her journey is bringing her joy. You said a moment ago, happiness and reflection was the choice of your chapter
yeah,
title. And I absolutely see both of those words in you as we speak, as we've got to know each other, as I read your chapter. Happiness and joy is something that you value and absolutely should. And the reflection piece, prior to even reflecting through this process, you were a big reflector. You
yeah.
found a positive piece. And has Pilates and breathwork helped you with that?
Definitely, yeah. It's not something I was taught through my dance career, but as I evolved into Pilates, even though we only do it a little bit at the end, it still helped with becoming present and like reteaching yourself to, even though as sort of entrepreneur minded, we're always thinking about the future, we're sort of racing ahead, like how can I make, do this, do that. But it kind of brings me back, grounds me, think, right, I'm just going to appreciate what I have here and now, use my breath, which is extremely powerful, which is what I learned again in London, relaxation techniques and breathing techniques. It's extremely powerful. I think they say in physio world that you have to be really ready for breath work because it can be so powerful. But yeah, I truly believe that, that breath work and that, relaxation in my classes has taught me a lot. It's good to be entrepreneur minded, but it's also good to be mindful, reflect, be grateful for what we have, be present around our community and stop. And I've had people say to me in the past, oh, why don't you do more classes? Why have you not pushed it? I'm like, I'm just enjoying what I have now. And honestly, I feel that some people have really found that hard to get their head around. I'm just bobbing along, enjoying what I have, putting the energy into people that have, appreciated and sort of, trusted me on this journey and come along with me. And I'm really grateful to those people because they're what's enabled me to sort of be in this position now. So I only felt it's right to, give that time back to those people and really put my energy and all into it. I feel like we only have a certain amount of energy in us, and we have to really be wise of where we spend that energy. Sometimes we can waste it on something that really didn't need our time. So we have to be really mindful of the energy that we have and how we manifest it into positive energy. Sometimes think in my classes I teach a lot about that negative energy that we can hold into and kind of maybe get off other people. That I'm very sort of vibrational person, that I can feel people's energy, and I feel that's really important skill I've learned along the way, is sort of being mindful of our energy and how that reflects out to other people. Again, that can come into your professionalism as well, how we come across. So it's good that we're in ourselves in a good sort of way or state at the time, because I believe now, all the energy I've collected along this year is now being pushed off and people feel it, and then that's only going to domino into lots of other positive things. So yeah, I believe, the best advice for people is if you are in a good sort of way, positive way, you're keeping yourself fit, healthy, positive, only good things will gravitate to you. It's sort of like yeah, there's a book on that as well, I think. Yeah, so yeah, just how you sort of are in yourself will reflect on other people and vice versa. And the right people will gravitate to you then. If you're in good headspace, I do believe similar minded and the energies is crazy, what people trap back. So law of attraction kind of thing.
I've got goosebumps. I've got
Yeah.
because it sounds like talking to myself. I love it because it's exactly how I feel. Honestly, some of my biggest business maneuvers have just
Yeah.
been about gut feeling, energy,
Yeah.
oh, trust that the right people will step forward. This
Yeah.
book, for instance, I
Yeah.
did reach out to people, and I was so open with it. I was like, I think you'd be perfect, yourself included. I was like, come on in, come join me, come and see what it's about, ask me any questions. Some people did, and some people did not. And that was fine with me. And I just really believed that the energy I was putting out would attract the people with the same energy as me, the
Yeah.
same message as me, the same ethos as me, the same passion as me. And it absolutely worked. It's like magic. But it can happen in all areas of our lives. So I am 100% behind you on that. That reflection, that breath work, that energy, that holding space, keeping positive and trusting that the right things will happen at the right time,
Mhm.
in the right order, around the right people.
Yeah.
Kirsty, you are a breath of fresh air, and everybody in this book is bringing something so beautiful to the table. It's a book that I have passionately, magicked up, manifested in my mind for a very long time. I didn't want to be the only person shouting about the awesome next acts that await people. I wanted it to be a collaborative journey where we all say our piece in different ways and show our successes that are all very, very different. And it's great to have 14 of us doing that together. If you could, I mean, you can because it's our book. Who would you love that book to get in the hands of? Who are you hoping will read this book?
I think, well, anyone and everyone, hopefully, but mainly college age students or just young people, I hope would learn maybe from what I've learned and have their whole life ahead of them to think, life, your sky's your limit, basically. You don't have to conform to what we are told. Your path can go in many different directions. You don't have to follow conventional routes. Like it is okay to do like me doing a degree now. You don't have to, and I feel like if you write a book, then you realize, oh, actually, I could do this, I could do that. The sky's the limit. I've done a podcast now with you, Nicole. I've stood in front of people chatting, talking about the book. And again, it's more life skills that I've collected. So, yeah.
100%. And there's so many different versions and journeys within the book that it will reach a multitude of people, multitude of ages. It's, I believe, relevant for all different professions. It's anyone at a crossroads. But you're right. Those younger, and I couldn't have said it better myself, actually. You're absolutely right. Those younger years, if they can understand what we have found out later on in life. I mean, me certainly in my 40s, being one of the oldest in the book, and there's a range of ages. If those younger people can feel what I feel now, then that's an incredible 20 odd years more than me of being their best, most brilliant self, of being completely authentic, aligned, following purpose, and still, tapping into that passion. I think you're absolutely right. And I can't wait to hear who has read it. I can't wait to hear what they say and the reviews come in and the doors that will open for us all. Because like you've said, you've already stood on stages speaking about your journey and your book. And I absolutely believe that storytelling is a way to success. Like if people know, like, and trust you through your stories, through your journey, through your life, it's going to open up doors because you're having impact, and people can really get to know you and understand you and choose to work with you. What's the future of Kirsty and KLA Fitness? Sorry, my tongue.
It's okay.
What's the future vision? What's the, I do know that you believe that things happen for a reason. It might all change, but right now, where you are, after your degree, what are you hoping will transpire for Kirsty?
I'm hoping that I'll be able to teach again a wider audience. Like my passion is teaching. I just really love choreographing. So if I can be out there anywhere, everywhere to sort of teaching choreographing, that'll be great. Workshops in London, that's my plan. And also recently I've had the confidence to think, you know what, I could open up my own dance company, my own dance school, some more, because I do enjoy, as well as workshops, more regular things, because I'm seeing that journey, that growth over a longer period of time. So that's where I like to really invest in people, is seeing things set through for a long time. That's where I get the most joy, is seeing someone grow for many years. I hope to still be teaching until I'm like my teachers, till I'm 18, 90, till I can't. So yeah, that's where I'd really love to get to, is just teach my whole life, maybe become I put that in the book, adjudicator one day, and do all my exams, do my masters. I want to do it all so I'm the most knowledgeable, because when I went to London, I saw how knowledgeable those physios were. I thought they've done all their research. They're really, credible people, and I want to be the same, where there's, we can always be learning. That's what I always think, a journey of life of learning. There'll be always things I don't know. So I want to just continue on that learning journey. I encourage people to do the same, because I believe the minute you feel like you'll stop learning or you don't enjoy it, it's probably a time to change. So hopefully this book has allowed me to see the longevity of life. I mean, people always said to me when I was 18, oh, dancing, that's no career. There's no longevity. You'll be finished by like a footballer by the time you're 30. And I'm thinking, well, now I can see more longevity in this career than I've seen in any other. So it's made me realize how, like, this book, you can do loads of different things. And I aspire to those people that have managed to keep going in this industry till they're 80, 90. And that's happiness to me. That ties back into my chapter, that, some people are really happy, when they've got lots of money, but I'm really happy. I always say, if I could do this for free, I would. But unfortunately, we need to pay our bills and things. But, I would love doing this till I'm to old age. So yeah, that's where I see it all going. I think it's the start of just the start, really. I feel like even though I've come all this way, this is a pivotal point in where I've really truly believed in myself and think, right, I can do this. I can keep this going until way into my older age, hopefully.
You absolutely will. And I have seen that in you from day one. We've known each other a few years now, and, passionate supporter of yours. You're going to do amazing things. You have done amazing things. You'll continue to do amazing things, and I will continue to support you where I can and when you need me. Kirsty, it's been brilliant. I am so grateful for you. A, joining the book collaboration, B, this podcast, C, your positivity, and D, I was going to say three then, D, the fact that we are now connected for a very long time, so I can watch your journey unfold even further.
Absolutely.
This is the first of two books. There is a second book coming out next year, and I'm inviting more people to come forward and share their story. What would you say to anybody considering joining the second book collaboration?
Definitely do it. Honestly, for everyone listening, just go for it. You never know where it's going to take you. I mean, that's the best part about life. I don't think we should have it all figured out. We should definitely just, like we said, with our energies, that if it feels like the right time for you, like it did for me, I thought, I'm never going to get this opportunity again. I'm sure of it. Like, this opportunity has come now. I never expected it. I never planned to write in a book, but that's been my whole life. I've never planned any of it. The energies have been right at the right time. I thought, I'm going to go for it. So definitely do it, because you don't know what you're going to find out about yourself, or you don't know what you're going to get out of it. You're going to build much more confidence in yourself and your writing skills. And I think it's much more than writing. It's more of a deep self-reflection, chance to connect with others in the industry that you would never have necessarily met, and think, what you can get from what more skills will come off the back of it. So it's more than the journey of now I'm, learning how to do public speaking and confidently talk, like in a podcast, which I've never imagined I'd do. So I think it will open up a lot of skills that you didn't realize you already had. So yeah, you'd be proud of that once you get there.
Brilliant. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for this wonderful podcast episode. Listeners, please reach out if you would like any more information about the book, Spotlight on Success, any of the authors, me and PerformerPreneur, or that second opportunity to join the second book collaboration launching in 2026. Kirsty, that's all for now, my darling. I will see you very, very soon in person. I can't wait. And thank you again. There you have it. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Spotlight series, where stories shine and success gets redefined. If you loved what you heard, hit like, follow, or subscribe. And be sure to grab your copy of Spotlight on Success over on Amazon. And don't forget to tag us at PerformerPreneur across all socials. If you've been inspired today to step into a new spotlight, you can find a whole community ready to support you at performerpreneur.co.uk, as well as up-and-coming events and even more about each author. Until next time, stay bold, stay brilliant, and continue to shine.